En af de bedste transfers i nyere tid, jeg kan komme i tanke om, det må næsten være Matt til Relevant Podcast. Så shout out til Matt. Og apropos gode transfers, vi skal i dag se Tifo Football svar på, hvad den bedste Premier League transfer nogensinde er. Hvis vi kommer med et hurtigt bud, hvad tænker I så?
Shamak til Arsenal.
Okay.
Ja. Det ved, har du et bud til Krause, så det skal jeg op med en lige bagefter.
Jeg tænker Ronaldo til United første gang. Henter ham ind for en god pris, vinder pretty much alt med ham, sælger ham til som dyrspiller nogensinde.
Jeg siger... okay, det er også bare random. Wayne Rooney fra Everton til United.
Så tror jeg vil næsten sige Anelka til Arsenal.
Okay.
Ja, det var... Han kostede 500.000 pund. Og i den tid, i forhold til hvor meget han blev solgt for et par år senere, det var helt sindssygt.
Good shot. Andet shot. Jeg kan lide det. Både. Lad os se om Tifo er enig med os, eller om de siger vi nogle kæmpe klovne og kommer med nogle vanvittige transfers.
Come on.
There's always debate about transfers. Who got the bargain and who overspent.
True.
But can we objectively assess transfer effectiveness? And consequently, according to us, what would therefore be the best ever Premier League transfer?
Benjamin Mendy.
And why? So there are multiple ways to assess transfer effectiveness, and in this video, we'll look at some guiding principles that underpin.
Har du set sådan lidt i dit liv, Matt?
Ja.
Okay.
Effective transfer.
Tak skal du være, hvis du var sikker.
Brad, du er 5 år ældre, du er ikke sådan 20 år ældre.
At the highest level, best transfers maximize ROI, or return on investment, for a football club. Return here defined as the value accrued to a club, a combination of competitive winnings enabled by the transfer, commercial and media revenue from the transfer, and the impact it had on other players in the team. And investment defined as the total cost of the transfer, including transfer fees, agents' fees, and other costs. Attributing competitive winnings or commercial revenue uplift accurately to a specific transfer is challenging. Yes, one can use metrics like shirt sales. For instance, beIN Sports reported recently that Lionel Messi's shirt sales alone drove up merchandising revenue for Paris Saint-Germain by 40%, or the equivalent of 60 million euros. However, one could argue that Messi's shirt sales simply cannibalized shirt sales for Mbappe or Neymar or other players, and as such, cannot be attributed as uplift by that specific transfer. Similarly, we know intuitively that Virgil van Dijk signing for Liverpool and Robin van Persie signing for Manchester United significantly enhanced the potential for those teams to win the league. But can we definitively quantify their individual contributions in making that happen? A different and perhaps more obvious way to look at value accrued from transfer is to track that player's market value.
Men den var trods alt meget dyr.
As reported by sources such as Transfermarkt or the CIES Football Observatory. An extension of this would be to also look at the impact that a player has had on market values of other players on the team. And this is how we'll proceed. On investment, we'll begin by outlining some factors that drove the cost of a transfer and how clubs have managed them down intelligently. Firstly, the age of the player. So scouting has never been more important in driving transfer effectiveness, and signing high potential young players early has enabled significant business success for clubs such as Ajax, Borussia Dortmund, Barcelona, and lately Manchester City. But it's not just about young players. Edwin van der Sar was 34 years old when he signed for Manchester United for £2 million. He went on to win 7 trophies and become one of the greatest goalkeepers in the club's history. Secondly, the time that the player has left on their contract. Now, there are multiple examples of clubs leveraging this to bring costs down. From Robert Lewandowski signing for Bayern on a free, to Robin van Persie's £24 million acquisition by Manchester United as the league's best player with just a year left on his contract, to Real Madrid's signing of Antonio Rudiger also on a free.
Fuck sake.
No, nice.
God damn it. Agree personal terms and convince them to run down active contracts to enable lower transfer fees. 3. Agents' fees and relationships with the club.
Yeah.
A great example of this is Wolverhampton Wanderers and Jorge Mendes.
Yeah,
the club's productive relationship with the super agent enabled them to sign many of his high-caliber clients, such as Joao Moutinho, Ruben Neves, Diogo Jota, Rui Patricio, and Daniel Podence. 4. Where the player currently plays. Players in lower tier or less popular leagues generally come cheaper, even with comparable attributes and skills to Premier League players. This fact has been leveraged by clubs via intelligent scouting. Leicester City's acquisitions of Jamie Vardy from Fleetwood Town and N'Golo Kante from French club Cannes are examples.
Yes.
5. Clauses and payment structures.
The man is
Arsenal's
30.
£72 million signing of Nicola Pepe might come with much debate on overall effectiveness, but it was cleverly structured, with just £20 million up front and the remaining £52 million to be paid in tranches over 5 years. Chelsea's decision to add buyback clauses into the contracts of sold players such as Tammy Abraham and Tino Livramento comes on the back of some high-cost player losses. Given all of this, which is the best ever Premier League transfer?
Kom med det.
Well, we're going to argue that it's Leicester City's acquisition of French midfielder N'Golo Kante. Kante was signed for around £5.5 million by a Leicester City team that had just survived relegation and also changed manager that summer. He transformed the side, earning a place in the PFA Team of the Year and leading Leicester City to their one and only Premier League title.
Yeah.
He played just one season and appreciated in value 6 times over before being sold to Chelsea for £32 million the following summer. And the players around him significantly appreciated in value as well. Riyad Mahrez was valued at £6 million when Kante arrived, and upwards of £30 million less than a year later. His midfield partner Danny Drinkwater appreciated from under £2.5 million to upwards of £10 million in the same time frame. Both players were subsequently sold for £60 million and £35 million respectively.
Jeg tror, han er
And the windfall in the season following the Kante-inspired title win was massive for Leicester. Broadcasting income doubled to £191 million from £95 million the season before, with £70 million coming from the club's participation in the UEFA Champions League. Matchday income tripled to £16 million from £5 million the season before, while commercial revenue also increased by £3 million to upwards of £26 million. Despite substantial wage inflation in that season with the necessary squad expansion given the club's participation in the Champions League, Leicester still reported a net profit before tax of £92 million, which was significantly higher than the likes of Manchester United, Arsenal and Liverpool that year. It was also, at the time, the highest net profit accrued in a single season in Premier League.
Men det giver også fint nok mening, jo.
The closest challenger
Hvis det var et næsten nedrykkerhold, der vinder Premier League,
13-14, which was aided by the sale of Gareth Bale to Real Madrid. Kante's transformative impact on not just Leicester, but world football was such that he went on to win a World Cup, a Champions League, an FA Cup and another Premier League title. He's now widely considered one of the greatest defensive midfielders in the world. In fact, his astronomical rise would imply his £32 million acquisition by Chelsea could also feature in this list. N'Golo Kante was, by all relevant measures, a very sensible transfer.
Ja, godtager den.
If you like this...
Ja, det var faktisk et godt shot. Også fordi netop det der med, at du kigger på alle de forskellige aspekter, hvor det har fungeret også. Altså, hvordan det basically har transformeret Leicester. Altså, igen, Leicester sæson før på vej til at rykke ned. Nu, de kan godt nok lige falde af på den sidste sæson og men ellers var de jo consistent, altså top 6 challenger.
Man skal faktisk ikke undervurdere, hvor meget respekt man måske skal have for Leicester, fordi de har faktisk holdt sig op. Altså sådan, de vandt Premier League, og siden da der har de jo faktisk i mange sæsoner næsten kæmpet med om top 4, top 6.
Ja, præcis.
Hvor de jo netop gik fra at være næsten et nedrykkerhold, så de har jo faktisk, selvom de solgte Kante, selvom de solgte Marta, så har de jo faktisk holdt sig et godt stykke op.
Det er det, og man kan nemlig være bange for, at lige pludselig vandt det, man tænker, oh shit, de er klar på det nu, og...
Men det var fordi, der blev,
der
med de her spillere, der blev bare bygget en vindermentalitet.
Det gjorde der, det er sandt.
Så, fair play.
Men nu er det ved at være...
Så respect. Ja, big ups til Leicester, og big ups til N'Golo Kante. Let's go.
Jeg tror faktisk, der vil komme sådan en masse spillere, hvor de sådan vil fortælle, hvorfor han var god, og hvorfor han var god, og så videre.
Ja, og de vil sådan build op til det, eller hvad tænker du? Sådan...
Nej, må de bare nævner sådan, at han var en god transfer fordi, og så måske 3 spillere, og så vil de så sige, Tifos pick vil være Kanté eller sådan noget.
Ja, det var faktisk også det, jeg havde troet.
Så. Jeg tror, de ville have gjort det på den måde, at sådan, så havde de sagt et eller andet og kommet med argumenter, men så havde der været et eller andet modargument, og så havde de gået videre. Og så havde de sådan billedet op til, at ham her, han har hele pakken.
Okay. Det er sådan, når man er på biografen, og der starter sådan en trailer, og man tror, det er filmen, der starter, men så er det faktisk bare en trailer, og så starter der en ny, og så tror man, det er filmen, så er det også bare en trailer.
Præcis.
Ja. Det er lidt teasing. Noget, jeg også kan tease jer for, det er, at der kommer en ny video ud på kanalen i morgen kl. 17. Og for første gang i MKJ's historie, så tror jeg lidt, at jeg vil lave en lidt ekstra teaser, fordi jeg kan sige så meget, at i morgen bliver en quiz. Så det kan jeg gøre så.
Spændende.
Yes. Okay. Det kunne ikke være akavet nu, hvis vi ikke lavede det alligevel. Altså.
Jo,
Jeg aflyser det.
Fuck off. Goddammit. Well, anyways, jeg håber vi i hvert fald... Jeg håber I aflyser jeres abonnement her på kanalen. Jeg håber vi ses igen i morgen kl. 17, som altid. Peace out.